I think we can start. Unfortunately, not a lot of us stay. I hope that some of our colleagues will come. So, thank you for being at the first part, and we have our election done. We have heard a lot of things about the AIPS Sport Media Awards, and now we are going to finish our Congress because we still have some points to make it. First of all, before all of that, I would like you to see a short movie, a short video. Sorry.
Only image with which we want to remember a person that is not anymore with us, but has helped us a lot in the evolution of our association. And this man was only not our lawyer, but our friend. And here with us, there is Jean-Philippe that grew up also with him in the studio. So we want only to remind him, can you put the photo on? We want to remind him, François Carrard is the man that has made possible for us to find a legal status in Switzerland. He has helped us, speaking with the city of Lausanne, to have for 5 years our headquarters in La Maison de Sport, and after now to continue in one of the offices that is in the former villa of the Gymnastic Federation. But especially he has helped us to develop this legal status that is the most important thing. We have changed completely our future because now we are an association that has all the rights and we can defend our rights. He was a lawyer, he was also director of the IOC before, and after, he was really a friend of journalists. He wanted that we could increase our potential. He wanted that we could fight for our rights. And I think that is necessary for us to remember him. And now I give the word to Jean-Philippe that has worked with him in the office.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I must say, I'm touched. I've been, as the president said, the partner of François Carrard, professional partner of François Carrard for 35 years. This is an honor for me to be here and to be among you and to continue his action. I must say, I land, if I can say so, in this atmosphere, in this Congress, in your association. Maybe just to introduce myself for those who I couldn't meet until today. So I'm a lawyer in Lausanne, partner in the same firm where Mr. Carrard was. I've been a sportsman myself long times ago as a skier in the Swiss national ski team, and then had the chance, like you do probably in journalism, to mix two passions, one for law, the other for sports, being a founder of the Swiss Law Association, being a former general secretary of the Court of Arbitration. I'm still an arbitrator today, and in various mandates in sport, be that on the legal side or in the administrative side. I'm still on the board of various federations or companies related to federations. So this is an honor for me to be here. I've taken over this work that François Carrard started in the bylaws. For those who had a doubt, after this morning, we all feel that there is some space for improvement, for more clarity. Not that your bylaws or statutes are bad. They were made in 2010. A lot has been made. The association has developed itself. There are new governance regulations today, and there is a need for adaptation. So no change for change's sake, but the necessity of improving in order to have a better governance and to have an association which can continue to develop. As I've said today, as the association is headquartered in Lausanne, Swiss law applies. As you know, many international federations or associations are in Switzerland. This is a very flexible law which allows us to make certain adaptation in order to be sure that the needs and the specificities of your association are respected. There were two ways, and François chose one, and I think this is the right one. When you take today the statute and bylaws, but even in preparing the elections of today, you go from one page to the other, you don't know more where you are. So it's like a legal patchwork today, sorry to say that. So there was either a restructuration when not complete important, or just some cosmetics, and frankly it would be a nonsense to make just some cosmetics, so that's why we'll go a bit further. It's a work in progress. You've had or you have a commission, a working commission, but one of your members told me today the working commission for the statute until today didn't work. So be sure I'll make you work. What is the goal? The goal is for us to bring to the next Congress bylaws which have been discussed with the Commission, and will convene this year one half-a-day meeting, which has been discussed among the new executive board you've elected today, that have been shared with you before the next Congress, so that you can really feel the status, the bylaws as yours. So if I can try to have, well, the scope of the mandate was quite clear. That was first, as I said, redrafting the statutes and bylaws from a pure legal perspective, and that's what has been done until today, and ensuring the compliance with Swiss law. That was then to propose recommendation to improve the good governance of AIPS. It's not for the lawyers, sorry, to impose. It's for the lawyers there to propose, and you are the one, executive board members, then to approve in order to modernize the internal structure. And finally, this is for me, for monitoring this process, leading us to the next Congress, in order that you can adopt and then apply new statutes. As I said, there are reasons. I already talked about one or the other for revising. There is, and there we all admit, and again we had the evidence this morning in trying to interpret certain article, need for increasing the clarity and reorganize the structure of statutes and bylaw. Certainly, improvement of the governance and modernizing the internal structure. You're growing. There is money coming in, and that's a good thing as long as you use it as it has to be. But that's important. There is a need for clarifying certain legal inconsistencies. I don't come to the detail, but I say two words about statutes and bylaw, and finally to ensure the compliance with the Swiss law and general rules of governance today. Clear distinction between bylaws and statutes. For those who spend some time, and I realize today that sometimes journalists are better or worse than lawyers in reading the bylaws and articles. It's very difficult to use now because you have those two elements, bylaws, statutes. That happens often in sports federation. If you take the Olympic Charter, there are the so-called règlements internes, bylaws, and there are the statutes. Both can be modified by the session of the IOC with different majorities in order to facilitate the management of this, and that might be a goal. Today, you have exactly the same majorities, and you're looking for bylaws from page 1 to page to the last page of the statute. So there is a need for improvement there and restructuring. I think, and that was my advice to your president, that this is important that this Congress has the control on the statutes and bylaws, maybe, as I said, with different majorities in order to facilitate for the international operative regulation the possible changes. Other examples which have been already proposed, which have been done, continental section. I land in your association, but I realize one thing, this is the importance of your continental section. Today, in your bylaws, you have maybe one article. We saw today that there was some inconsistency sometimes in the votation, in nomination. We should make sure that your continental section are the real ambassadors and those who are close to the field. And there is an important element by also showing the importance of your continental section by introducing a new chapter. And then the question of membership is today complicated, not precise enough, and what more important than the members, how they come in, how they are accepted, what are the criterias, and how they step out, how they are suspended if needed, how they are excluded, unfortunately, sometimes, and that will try to be more precise. And finally, and I think also that's a necessity to try to better define what are the exact tasks of the various organs, be that the Congress, be that the Executive Board, be that the commissions, and we'll do our best. What is today sorry, I'm going back. What is what might be the timeline? First of all, there is a working group, as we said, with many of you. I knew a few of you. I've seen people who are both journalists and lawyers, which is perfect. As I said, I'm glad to work and collaborate. So the new executive board, because this is a commission, will have as first task to confirm the appointment of the working group. You find the list on your website, but you all members of this working group are quite important. And as I said, the goal for me is before the end of this year to reserve half a day I said to meet, but the General Secretary immediately said, no, I can't invite everybody to Lausanne, so we'll find a way. At worst, it will be through Zoom or other means, but we'll do the best in order to have a good and strong discussion. And then, to be sure, early 2023, to have a draft which can be completely presented to the newly elected executive committee, so that we can share with all the members, a final draft before the election. I say draft, underline. That means that for those who want to discuss, etc., there will be a discussion in Seoul. This is a very important moment in the development of a federation, with the goal, if possible, to have a final project and to approve everything in Seoul. You know where to find me. You can always contact me if there are outside of that proposals or so. I'm glad, and I'm looking forward to collaborate with you and to help your association to make a new step towards future, as the importance of the press and sports and media has not to be confirmed or reassessed today. I can say that, be that as a former sportsman, or today as a member of other bodies, of other federations, national and international. Thank you very much. I'm open to questions.
So are there any questions? Yes, Sandra, microphone. Coming.
I have a couple of questions. With regard to your slide number 3, when you are referring to the introduction of specific actions on suspension, expulsion of members, etc., can we rest assured that you will be introducing also an independent disciplinary board and also an appeals board? And will these members of the disciplinary board and the appeals board be independent people or proposed by the executive committee? And will the member involved have the opportunity to come up with a counter argument that perhaps he does not have faith in that particular chairman and asks for a replacement? The other thing will be regarding the timing. In our last Congress, and I don't know exactly if it was in the last or in the previous Congress, Dr. Francois had proposed some drafts, some amendments to the statute. Are you working on those amendments, or this is a completely fresh statute? Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, on your first question, and before coming to the specific point, I should have said, above all, for me, the most important point is to have bylaws and statutes as simple and flexible as it can be. It's not for me to prepare bylaws or statutes where only lawyers can understand something. So we should avoid to have too many bodies, organs, and commissions. I was talking about suspension or exclusion, as you said, but starting to say I was talking about membership, defining the members, etc., etc. So I've not received any mandate to speak about suspension or expulsion. Of course, you know perfectly well, it has been this year a very important question in many international federations. Take the example Ukraine, Russia. The president of the IOC and the IOC board said to the federation, hey, you should suspend, you should stop accepting, etc. Most of the federation had no legal basis for that, and still for some of them don't have it. This is an example why there is a need for clarification where you can broad enough, which allows your executive board or the Congress to take this decision. I cannot answer you whether a disciplinary body will be elected. This is for the executive board to tell me. It's possible, but the practical example I can give you, because we discussed that yesterday with your president and with all the members present here of the Ethics Commission. Ethics Commission is an example. There will be an article in the bylaws, and there will be an article granting the independence of the Ethics Commission, for example. Of course, there is a need to report to the Congress or to the executive board, but they should be independent. And there will be also, talking about the Ethics Commission, the need of specifying why. When I hear example given to me by some members saying there was member asking the Ethics Commission to intervene because there are some members traveling in business class. Sorry, this is not for an Ethics Commission of an international federation. There are many other subjects. Some of the topics were discussed this morning, by the way, and this is not for me to reopen the discussion, but I take your question regarding disciplinary, and for me, for a lawyer and sometimes a judge also, this is obvious that if you're talking of commissions, be that disciplinary, be that ethic, you have two things. First of all, independence and guarantee that the right to be heard be respected. So don't worry, we'll work on that. Now, I don't know exactly what Francois told the last time. There was maybe for an interim period, the goal of having adaptation. What we're talking today is there is a document existing or circulating, but among a few persons, the goal would be to have a completely new status without adding today to this legal patchwork other pieces which would render it less efficient. So I'm sorry, Mr. President, Vice President, Secretary General. I'm maybe going further to my role, but that's how I see it, and that's what I will defend. I hope I've answered to your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? So, this is great. Who? Oh, sorry. Microphone.
Non, juste une petite précision que je n'ai pas. And just a remark. So during the debates about these new developments, how should the National Association move forward? Can they get in touch with the president? What is the course of action? Maybe I missed that. Yes, the target is allowing them to introduce a project, and underline this word, a project that can be brought forward by your commission and that will be approved by the executive committee, and that can be presented 2 months prior the next Congress, so that they can all propose amendments and drafts that have not been discussed yet, because sometimes the statutes have many elements that need to be discussed. So all remarks have to be made with some advance timings.
Please write an email to our office and you will get it. Of course, it is just a draft, so it is more to discuss about it. So it is just, but it is in 3 languages. If somebody didn't get it, please write to our office. It's info@aipsmedia.com. So please write it if you didn't get it and if you wanted to make it. Thank you. Anybody else? So, Jean-Philippe, the final words from you.
I said, like always, lawyers talk too much, so I think I've said enough.
No, but I think that we have to invite always him to be president of the Congress, because you have seen he has the balance that I have not, so we need him.
Thank you.
Forse è meglio che stai per
While we are on the lawyer things, we will move to our motions. We get on time. We get the motion from Netherlands Sports Press. I will read it because it is something that should be read. Today, Sunday, July 3rd, 2022, the countries below filed the following motion according to the AIPS bylaw 2.3, 2.4, in order to bring this to vote at the AIPS Congress in October 3 to 6, 2022 in Rome, Italy. The countries listed below have noted with sadness the intention of our Danish colleagues to no longer belong to the AIPS in protest against the presentation of the AIPS Media Awards in Doha, Qatar in June 2022. The countries below both regret the steps taken by the Danes as well as by the AIPS presidency regarding the decision to hold the Media Awards event in Qatar. The bad situation for migrant workers in Qatar is well known, based on reports from Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and numerous news reports from fellow and respected journalists from The Guardian, BBC, New York Times, and many others. AIPS Europe and other AIPS members call on the AIPS Executive Board to refrain from organizing AIPS congresses and/or award events in the future in countries where there is no freedom of expression and no freedom of the press. Signed and supported by Marco Knippen and John Walkers from Netherlands, President and Vice President. Sport Press Belgium, David Neyert and Rudy Nuens, Vice President and Secretary General. From Germany, Martin Volkmann. Ashley Broadley, Chair Sports Journalist Association of Great Britain. Maria Val, President of Estonian Association. Petra Toren, President of the Swedish Association. Torkel Gunnar Sigurbjörnsson, Treasurer of the Icelandic Board. Nina Jakonen, Secretary General of Finnish Sports Journalist Association. Reidar Soli from Norway, President of Norwegian Sports Journalist Association. And Muriel Fiecher Oberholzer from Sport Press Swiss. Please confirm that this was received in due time. It was received in due time, so you had it in your papers also. You can read it, but it was my obligation to read it again. And I'm opening the floor.
The only thing that we can tell is that personally, I'm not in favor only for one thing, because I think that our duty is go anywhere to go to discuss for the problem of freedom, even in the place where it's more dangerous also for us to go. Because if we stay only in the safe area, we will never help other area to grow. You know, it is exactly, if we are only a close group, after we'll be happy between us, but we will not help our colleagues that they are on a daily danger to be helped by us. Because what we know is that when we close the relationship with the country, the so-called great power in the country is happy, because so they cut completely the possibility for them to know what we think, and that we have solidarity for the people that are fighting for the human rights, for the thing regarding the freedom of press and so on. We have to go there explaining what we think. Because I know that some colleagues, when they are going in the country where there is a regime, they're a little bit afraid to tell what they think. No. We have to go there and to tell what we think, because we must be brave enough to help the colleagues that are brave in that country. Because we have seen everywhere their colleagues in danger, even the sport journalists. Because if you remember, the guy that we talked before, that we have given him the award for the investigative prize, this guy, 2 days before he came to Lausanne, when he was in Lausanne, but 2 days when he arrived, in the same day, the gangster has killed the guy that was his right hand. They killed. And he was speaking about corruption in sport. Can you imagine? In how many countries, with the interest that there are even in sport, for drugs, for doping, for money, the danger is everywhere. So I think that we can take this as a recommendation, because, for example, if somebody will propose to go now to Russia to organize a congress, nobody will accept. Or in other situations that are really, really bad, we cannot accept. But when we can bring the idea of freedom, of free speech, and how can be our work, I think that is good. This is my opinion. I've discussed with many, and many others are of the same opinion. If not, at the end, if we go to see the rate in the country, you know, there is a rate of country. Yes, the Nordic countries are all on the top, but even Italy and France are down. Because bigger are your country, more difficult are something. Because I think that we have to understand the people that has problems. And to think about, sometimes we can make some choice. But to put that, to cut immediately so many other possibilities, then that is wrong. But, you know, this is only my humble opinion.
Muchas gracias, señor presidente.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to share the opinion of the motion from the Netherlands. And I'd like our co-workers to listen to this, our AIPS friends to share this, because in my countries there is the same problem. There is in Africa, there is a lack of freedom. We say that you never call on a dog using a wooden stick in your hand. And what does that mean? That if there's no freedom of expression in Qatar and we're not there, and we say that there's no possibility for us to have a dialogue with that country, this means excluding that country. So we should always try to start a dialogue. You cannot raise awareness if you leave them out. Through sports press events, we should raise awareness to promote freedom of speech. How can you talk to people that have been left out if you are not there to promote these values?
Oh, who else but Mark?
Je suis désolé parce que vous devez en...
I'm very sorry, because I think that I'm bothering you and you're very tired. Listen to my words, but when I see that other colleagues are not here as former delegates from France, I really want to clarify our position. I just had this idea, and I'd like to share this with you as a new member of the executive committee. France did not support this motion, knowing that 80% of the ideas contained in the motion are in line with our thoughts, but we did not sign because we had to understand where and how the limit was to be set. And having such a close position, we thought it might have not been the good strategy. So years back, I had to develop a training program in a country that has a dictatorship, and I was not pleased about that, but I could work with journalists that could promote a democracy in that country. So the idea I just had is that the International Olympic Committee a month ago presented some regulations and I think that human rights should always be at the core of our strategy. Maybe for us here at the AIPS, it is difficult, but maybe having a little committee with 2 or 3 independent individuals, and upon request from a few countries, we could possibly study the problem and maybe give an opinion. And this was just me thinking out loud, and I would like to share this idea with you.
Member of executive committee. We will discuss about it. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. And I'd like to praise all the people in the executive committee. I'm Etienne, sport journalist from Senegal, editor-in-chief in Sous Quotidien in Senegal, and as African, and sometimes culture is relevant in this. I can tell in my country today it is very difficult. The common thought is that Western people want to impose their methods. And I think that as journalists, our profession is based on 2 main pillars, the freedom and the responsibility. Democracy is very important, and I am free to say about what I think about my my leaders and my head of state, and I'm not in jail if I say what I think. But in other regions, it is more complex, and I think we are all different. But the important thing is trying to go beyond our culture, not wanting to impose that on other people. And that's why what we do here is exactly leading by example in terms of openness. And if we just are focused on ourselves with our fixed ideas and without going to other countries such as Qatar, this is not positive. Many things change in Qatar, not just about workers, but also something was changed in their statutes. And I think the AIPS has to go beyond Europe, beyond America, beyond Africa, and go to these dangerous zones, because they can promote a change and we are capable to do so. So we should keep doing this as it happened now in Russia. Of course, this is not the case because we could not go, but there are things that are completely unacceptable because invasion is never accepted. But where we can go and promote certain topics, we should definitely do that to raise awareness.
Zsuzsa, first row.
Basically, I think we've heard all important things, and I also would like to express that I absolutely share the president's viewpoint in this situation, because I think our job is that we sort of ambassadors of the freedom of speech wherever we go. So if we refrain because of certain reasons and not going to countries where we can actually talk about how we view world and how we would like to this world to work with, to express ourselves, to have the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. If you're not going there, who would? So I think this is probably one of our missions. So I think in the future is very important, of course, to go there and to try to tell our opinion about what we believe about peace and freedom of speech and freedom of expressions. That's what I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zsuzsa. Please, anybody else? Well, nobody else. Thank you for that. In this moment, we can't vote for this because we don't have quorum. So this could be taken as a strong recommendation, as Mr. Merla suggested, or we must put it to another Congress, because we can't vote. We don't have quorum at the moment. As you can see, more than half of the chairs are empty. So our Netherlands approved that we take it as a strong recommendation because it was your motion, or you want us to bring it to the next Congress? First option. Thank you very much for that. So we will really take it as a strong recommendation from the colleagues who wrote it, even from those who didn't sign it, and thank you for that. Next point is regarding membership and card situation. It is very short because, as I told you, we don't have quorum. We can't vote. And 2 days ago, during our EC meeting, we already discussed about it. And I will tell you what is EC recommendation. First of all, I just want you to know that today we have 1,678 cards in AIPS, but some of you colleagues already pay for making the new one, so we will for sure have more than 6,400 cards in the beginning of the next week. which is quite good if we knew the situation during COVID and everything else. Also, during that period, some countries find that they didn't pay some of the obligations, that they want new cards, that they want to renew membership because some of them was out of AIPS for some time. I'm so glad about that, but also in this moment, for several reasons, it is 7 countries involved, but for several reasons, 6 of them, excluding Namibia. Namibia is the only one who put everything on top. 6 of them are still not ready to be the new members. So my suggestion to EC and my suggestion to you is that we give them 6 more months. And if we give them 6 more months, I'm pretty sure that they will put all the papers together, all the fee together and everything else that it is needed to be our full members. But of course, we cannot vote. I can just have your heading about that, or ask you, is there anybody against that? Nobody is against that, so I will assume that everybody is for the situation that we give 6 more months for the countries that are preparing the papers, and we will put all of them, I hope all of them, during the Congress in Seoul in the next year. Thank you for that, because it's very important for them. And technically, because executive committee can do that, Namibia technically will be our member because they put all the papers by law as much as we ask them, and of course they put all their financial obligations on zero. So Namibia is our technical member, but of course without your raising hands, it is not our real member, but technically it is. So thank you for this 6 months more, because it is very, 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 very important. We will start with point 12, AIPS Congress 2023 in Seoul. So, Mr. Vice President, I would like you to say a few words about it.
Hello, yes, my name is Hidon Jung from South Korea. AIPS EC decided 2 days ago, next year Congress will take place Seoul, South Korea. Next year, actually the date has not fixed yet, but we consider the 2nd week or 3rd week of May in Seoul. And we already choose hotel, but we have not made the contract. So we considering Intercontinental COEX Seoul Hotel. This is 5-star hotel. Actually, 2011, maybe someone you participated 2011 Seoul Congress. The same hotel. Same hotel, very, very good hotel. With there's a huge hall. It can accommodate 1,000 people. So it's enough to yes, we can use it. So hopefully this is 3rd time, totally 4th time. Recently is the 3rd time. We hosted the Congress 2011 and 2017. Now 2023. So I think. Every 6 years we hosted the Congress. So some EC member told me, suggest me, we should put in the statutes. So please don't do that. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we are very happy to host it again. But next previous Congress, 2017 was electional Congress, and we moved to another city, Pyeongchang. So 2 cities, the Congress take place. So the program was very tight. But this time, 4 days program. So maybe you could. Anyway, we should work hard, and sometimes we could relax and enjoy fun. So hopefully, nowadays the Korean food, and the Squid Games and Parasite, Korean movie, drama, and K-pop is very popular. Also, the Korean food is getting popular. So hopefully you'll be there. We should work in Congress, but also we can enjoy. So hopefully you will enjoy Korean food, Korean culture. So we are ready to host. We are ready to welcome you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Hidon. And I'm very happy because finally AIPS will not have to pay all the Congress. So before we go to the last point, somebody has something. Microphone. Sorry.
Also, please give it to secretary. I request our friend from Korea to avoid Ramadan days because it is a holidays for us and we can't attend the Congress in these days. Thank you.
But when is the Ramadan?
Yeah,
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we already checked the date. As far as I know, Ramadan will start the 22nd March, and it will finish the end of April. So the date is second week or so of May. So we are free from Ramadan. So don't worry about that. Okay. We already considered. Okay, Islamic we should, yes, inshallah.
Thank you, Hidon. And my friend from Sudan remind me that I forgot, and I wanted to say it, but I forgot that Sudan had 160 cards, which is very, very large number in the point when I was talking about membership, which is very, very, very good. Thank you for that. Yeah. Before we go to the end, we have 2 more points. But before we go, I know that some of you is willing to give something to Mr. President or to anybody else. It is time to go to your room and pick it down, because after the last point, we will have some presentation here and the right moment if you want to do it. Number 13 in our agenda is young reporters. So, Johnny, please, you were so delighted on the EC members EC meeting talking about that. I need to hear it again.
Carlo, sorry, immagine. Calm down. Vediamo un pochettino. Allora. This is the mission that we have began in 2011. And I think that is important because many of the people in our office are all young reporters. Some other now are working around the world at the top level. And we are very glad about this. This is what about IPS, yes, is the full what we have achieved in this year is we have 50% of women and 50% of men. So we are already at the level. This was the first time in Shenzhen. The problem that we did with FISU, and we select 12 of our young reporters, they select 12 for themselves, and after the Chinese organizer has put also 30 Chinese. It was a big event. It was not easy because to work with all this number of young reporters, but it was very funny and very interesting to mix all these people. Here are all our young reporter project that we have begun from 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. And 2015 was very important also because we have had Young Reporter Project is in UEFA Under 21 tournament that is very important because you begin to work with real champion, growing champion, and you have the possibility to test what it means to work in a big event. After we were also with FIFA Women World Cup, Special Olympics, UEFA Women's Euro, even at the European Championship of Women in Holland. It was very interesting. YAF World Championship. So you can see that we have had a lot of moments. The last was in Oregon with World Athletics. We have had only two, but we choose one girl from Ukraine and one guy from Germany. And I must say that their experience was incredibly good. So in all this year, you have seen how many organizations we put in place. These are some photos. This was Chefering, was in the UEFA Championship. This was in Cologne. This was another World Championship of UEFA. No, European Championship Under 21 UEFA. This was at the African Games. This in Lausanne, where also, I don't know if you see here, Vlad, the guy that has spoken about the war in Ukraine, he was with us. He's in the center, in yellow. That was far the war. But these are all these people. And we have invited in that occasion 5 young women from Africa. These are the key elements. This photo on the top was taken in the first edition in 2011, the Love, 2 different continents, but everything. These are the courses. What makes a good sports story, areas of media, IPS website, National Association and Media Organization. Here, when we are at the field, in the field and during the lesson in the morning, the selection criteria. And what is very clear is that we ask always candidature to the National Association. We always ask to them, National Association, to tell us. These are the last 3 mentors, Martin Mazur, Riccardo Romani, Kev Rednach. But between them, before there was also Evelyn Vatta and other people. These are other photos of other moments. These are the special seminars that we did. These are the young reporters on the field when they work. And that's it. I think this is something that we will continue. As Lucia Montanarella has told 2 days ago, we will continue also with IOC now. And it's important, it's a shared possibility. And we will have also other opportunity, perhaps with UEFA and the UEFA Championship, maybe with FIFA again, with World Athletics again. Today we were talking about possible situation. And I think that step by step, we are growing. We will call other mentors because in the beginning we have had also Raymond from Hong Kong. We've had a lot of people. And we had to recruit it also new members, new mentors. That is not so easy to teach and to stay out and to deal with the young kids. But it's very exciting moment. I've finished. Is there any question regarding this?
Gianni mentioned about the IOC. They actually need the reporters as soon as next month, so we have to get the ball rolling because they want to start training reporters for Dakar 2026.
Yes.
So we shall be sending out a call for applications as soon as possible, earlier than expected.
Yes, because there was also the proposal of FISU for the FISU Winter Games in USA in January. Now we are looking to whom we can go there because it's not so easy for the winter. But with the IOC, it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning, and we hope that we'll be successful. Yeah, and but after, I hope that will come also other occasion, because there are a lot of our young colleagues that want to make an experience, especially because now, with the lack of money that is around, it's very difficult for the young to travel and to go to the top competition. And to have a school is important. A school on the field is very important. Any other question? Yeah.
Avant de poser ma question, je voudrais...
Before posing my question, I would like to ask whether there are some actions that might boost AIPS, but I think this must be done by young people, because when you are young and you have someone supporting you, then something extraordinary can happen. And I'm saying this because it is my first experience. I was 21 when I wrote my first article. I was a student then. And when my article was published, I was told, well, you will write an article like this every week for us and you will get paid. And this is something extraordinary for me. This was something extraordinary for me. I became a journalist by chance. And next year, sorry. And sorry, I saw an article by a young colleague on basketball. And next year will mark 45 years for me in this profession. And I want to hold a conference about young journalists in Burundi and to draft a sort of reportage for my 45 years in this profession. But my question is, do you have something to encourage specific actions within national associations? Something that might encourage young reporters and push them to do something? Do you have something in mind to support national associations? Any national association that wants to implement actions to encourage their younger reporters, their own young reporters?
Mes 45 ans de métier de reporter de la presse écrite. Je vous remercie.
So I repeat, I would like to do something to mark my 45th anniversary. So thank you.
One point that is sure, we are the only organization that is organizing a kind of master, and we don't ask to the people that participate to pay $1. Everything is for free. We are giving this young reporter project for free. We pay all the expenses. And this doesn't happen so much. What I was thinking, discussing also with our mentors, here is one of them. Where is Keir? Where is Keir? And there is Martin over there. We were thinking perhaps it depends by our financial situation, to make another step, perhaps to organize some, not seminars, some courses of 3, 4, 1 week days in a special area where there are some people that has not to make long trip going around, and we send our mentor there. So they can make, if there is a special occasion of sport in one country, they go to participate as exactly in a different place. This is to go around the world. If we cannot collect people and to go in one place, we go in that place and we work over there. This is the idea for the next years. It's not so easy because we need also that the local organization are finding also some resources, not so much. So we can send our mentor there and to work exactly what we are doing with the Young Reporter Project in some place. This is another idea that I think that if we can do it, can have a better success even. Because, I don't know, in the West Africa or in East Africa, we can collect 5 countries, 6 countries. In Asia, we can have the South Asia, North Asia, and so on. And this will be involved to work together with the continental section, to work a lot together, because this is something important. It's a new idea. Let's hope that can be implemented. What do you think? Is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? Huh? Thank you. Thank you. So now, Secretary is yours.
Now we have one question.
Sorry.
I have
The
not.
last one, please.
I have not a question, but I have a suggestion that in all over the world, the university are creating the journalists, not the sports journalists, because everybody knows that there is no newspaper and no TV channels completed their bulletin or the newspaper if they have not the sports news at the end. We have to contract with the universities to have not the journalism, but also the sports journalism. Because journalism and the sports journalism have a lot of different, because more than 50 minimum games are playing all over the world, in all countries. So if we coordinate with the AIPS Asia, America, Africa, and Asia, all and their countries, contact with the universities and the institutions that they have the classes on the sports journalism. It's very good for the future of the sports. It's my suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you for your suggestion. We will try to do it. Any other opinion? No. Thank you.
No, because I want also to remind that some years ago, and I know the last after COVID they did, in Cuba they were doing a very good school every year in April, calling people around the area in South America, and it was very interesting. We participate, giving some financial support. I think that we have to continue on this way.
Thank you. Now, the last point of our agenda, any other business? Does anybody have anything to add to this very constructive and very good Congress? Yes, please, microphone.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. I'm Ayan. I'm from Azerbaijan. I'm joining for the first time as an observer, and I'm really delighted to be here. Thank you for having me here. It's an amazing learning and sharing opportunity, and it's an amazing platform to discuss the existing challenges and global calls facing everyone, not only sports. Just quick remark to the earlier point on upcoming conference in South Korea. I just wanted to mention that besides many challenges, COVID has left us a very good legacy on online communication and webinars and congresses. Maybe it would be relevant to also incorporate this solution in the future Congress, because nowadays many congresses are being held in a hybrid way, which helps lots of with lots of logistics in terms of voting and polls, and maybe it could also help to solve the problem that we discussed earlier with the awards, because some of the people was being challenged to be awarded because of the distance and not coming, but maybe this kind of hybrid solution would be helpful. So I just, once again, I'm thanking you for allowing me opportunity to learn from this Congress, and this was my humble remark for future progress of this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It is written. Anybody else? Yes, Evelyn?
Hi again. Allow me to stand for this. As probably some of you who attended our continental section may know, one of the, I can call him one of my AIPS mentors, has already stepped down from the executive, and he will also be stepping down from the continental section as our president. That's Michelle Obi from Nigeria. And I would just like to, I've already put forward a proposal for him to get a honorary, I'm not sure whether it's a honorary member. And I know that I have to present it to the Congress. I'm not sure whether I need to do it. Yeah, but I'm just.
Seoul.
No, he's not finishing in Seoul. He's finishing before Seoul, which is February.
You will do it 3 months before.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
yes,
but
please.
I'd just like to inform this Congress, because this is his
All the
last
days in
Congress
Seoul.
as an executive committee member.
Yes.
Yes, actually, sorry, apologies, Obi, as a vice president of the executive. Big apologies for that, for that quick demotion. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, I don't mean it. Yeah, so if you allow me, just probably, I don't know whether to applaud him or please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, I really want to say that Rome perhaps may become home for me, because that's where I've decided to open a new door. Maybe it will be closed here, but I think the door is firmly open. I really want to start by thanking all those who have allowed me the opportunity to find joy in my labor of love. And that's carrying my spirit of journalism, precisely sports journalism, to a house where all of us can not only find a true fulfillment, but also try to build and spread a message of defending our occupation, a message of defending our endeavor, and a message of defending what holds hope for so many. Let me start by saying that I became an executive committee member far back in 2005, on the same day Gianni Mello became president. And so many people have told me, why don't you wait until Gianni Mello calls it a day so that we can both live together? And I said, for everything under the sun, there is a season. And I want to invite all of you to the City of Culture in Dakar, where we'll be holding our African Congress. There we'll have the opportunity to celebrate ourselves and celebrate the time we've given, and also pledge to support what has become for us a mission of making this place a better place. Again, thank you to all my colleagues in the AIPS Executive Committee, Gianni Mello, the African Italian, to all my African colleagues who have stood steadfast, unyielding and holding tight. I don't know what to tell you, but to say that we are still in this together, and you can count on me when it matters. And to all those who have attended this Congress, perhaps a time to say that keep the flow, let the flame be aglow, and let us all find time to flow. My name... So again, I thank you for doing me the honor. Honorary member only last week in the Republic of Benin, I was honored with a doctorate of science by a university I didn't get to know until they sent me that honor. And so it's a good thing. Today, you honor me with an honorary membership of this 98-year-old body. In 2 years' time, perhaps, we will say we were all part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Obi. Mark?
C'est à peu près la même chose qu'a fait...
This is more or less what Evelyn did, so you might share my viewpoint right now. But this was really just to pay, just to praise my friend Kamon Shabbat that is about to leave the executive committee. And thank you for the applause. He will hear this.
I'm sorry.
Emotional.
He cannot be with us now because he has to lay. And I can tell about something about Jean-Paul, because at the beginning when he arrived in the executive committee, he was always fighting with me. Really, but heavy fight. But in the last 2 years, we were the closest friends. We have worked together, and we were very proud that we would able to take out from the jail in Guinea Diallo. We have worked every day to keep him out, and maybe that we have saved his life also, because he has criticized the President of the Republic. It was a different problem of tribes so on, but we have defended him, and we succeeded in this. And after, with the young reporter, now with the award as mentor, he's always ready to work with us. And he's not leaving us, because he will continue to work with us, even if he's not in the executive committee, because he deserves all our respect. I can tell you, he's a great guy. And I think that we need to give to him a great, great applause that comes from our heart.
One big celebration is about to come because, as you know, traditionally at the end of no other, as I see it, traditionally, if I didn't ask, you wouldn't raise the hand. Microphone.
Let me just add before you go. I think it's just to add on to what Gianni said about what Jean-Paul did. What he did to release Diallo from prison was amazing. And I think it also showed the power of AIPS. Because if it was not for our united voice, he would still be in prison. Sure. So I think he deserves an applause.
We have written a letter together to the President of the
We
Republic. We were in
miss,
contact every day.
in this Congress, we miss the reception party. I am asking, is there a closing party tonight or not? Is there a dinner? Is there a party?
Unfortunately, as you see, most of the people gone. So no party tonight, sorry. But there is a big celebration now. What?
Now, tonight we thought that after a tiring day,
Mr. President, I think after 2 years, the 86th Congress will be the 2024, and it will be the year of the 100th year of AIPS. Is there any planning to celebrate the different kind of events to commemorate the 100 years of the AIPS?
for the 100th year, I think that now for the 100th year in Paris, now is a problem of our friend Mark, because he has to begin to go to speak with the ministry, with the organizing committee, and it's not an easy task. From tomorrow, he is in charge of this for the Centennial Congress, no? Just tonight, it's better. And unfortunately, there is not a big party at the end because we are in Rome, and we know that in these days we were always close inside here, and people want to go to see the town because the party is to go in the town because it's perfect. What I can advise to you it is to go, if you want to see a lot of young people, music and so on in the street, go to Trastevere. Go to Trastevere and we will see the art of Rome, or not. It's something that I advise to you. Better than my town.
Okay,
sure.
we have one more.
Ce serait pas digne de ma part de ne pas saluer Jean.
It would not be nice of me if I did not mention Mr. Savar, the prisoner that they mentioned. It's me. I spent 3 months in prison, and with the Continental Section meeting, I congratulated on AIPS and praised this organization because without their intervention, this major intervention through the authorities in Kharkiv, and the great contribution of Jean-Paul Savas, I would still be in prison. So thank you, AIPS family, for the help you gave me. È bellissimo averti con noi. Good evening, Carlo Julio. I am the president of AIPS America. We are very grateful as journalists because in 2017 we had the opportunity to share the Congress of this in Cali, Colombia, and that was one of the many. So we could start organizing congresses thanks to this opportunity. America was represented by over 16 countries. And for example, we know that continents like Africa were facing a very hard situation, and we are all aware of that. So America has very similar situations. If we think of hurricanes, storms, many other people from other countries wanted to come, but hurricanes destroyed their regions and they could not make the trip. But they were very happy about the idea of coming. So I would like to thank all of you. And I'd like you to know that sometimes there are no bases to partake as much as we would like when you give us such great opportunities like congresses out of our continents. I would like to suggest for the executive committee and thank Europe, because together with we accomplished great results, and we do have some proposals. As yesterday Johnny was mentioning, games for journalists. I'd like to say to all my colleagues that we had an amazing experience with this. We already had 4 editions of these games for journalists. There are over 70 journalists that are actively involved in these games. And I'd like to share with you all, with Ernesto Ortiz, for example, and suggest that we could all study together these proposals, like in Cali. We all know what was the impact of these events and workshops, because it is beautiful to write, to report, and to share opinions, but then live certain experiences. And even going through difficulties in dangerous zones, it's another thing, and it's very interesting. It is very educational, and that's why I want to thank all of you, because this is a great job, and we feel represented, and we will be represented in the future. Thank you.
Bonjour, chère présidente. Oui.
Good morning. Dear President, my name is Gafar Garwan, and I come from Iraqi Kurdistan. And I would like to thank the President on behalf of all sports journalists. We're really happy to be all here and to be with you. But I would like to ask you 2 questions. We do not have a nationality. FIFA does not give us our quotas. Have you already spoken with FIFA about this? In order for them to help us we do not have players in the European teams coming from Iraq, so we were not given any accreditation. So we thank you already. If you, along with all the national associations, could go and talk to the teams, to the clubs, and if you have some tickets to be allocated to Iraq, to Iran, that would be very, very important. It will be important for us to take part, to participate, to see matches, international matches of certain European teams. Thank you already, Mr. President. Thank you also on behalf of the Kurdish people. We know you have been very generous with us. We know you will not forgive about us, so thank you on behalf of all journalists.
Just to say, Mr. Jean-Paul Savard just arrived. Jean-Paul.
I'm sorry, I cannot attend all the the parts of the Congress, because I'm very tired, I need to have a rest and come back. I just wanted to tell you, when I had a rest now, I just received a call from Sirat to ask me if something happened or what. So I say, maybe we try something else with Marc Ventouillac with the School of Journalism in Lille. Marc told me that maybe we could try to do something. I just remember you that we have two colleagues to help, and we don't know what to do. But and he said it was he asked me, please do something. I just spoke with him now. He called me when I was in my bed rest. Just okay, so that's all.
Unfortunately, no, I have the. Unfortunately, for now, we are not able, because the embassy are not accepting to give them visa. Yes, before Ahmadi from Iran, he told me that they've helped another colleague of us, Zeland, that was the president of Afghanistan, to keep his family through Iran. But one thing is to keep the family through Iran and to bring to Germany. Another thing is to keep these two guys and to bring to Europe. All the embassy, we have tried, yes, try with all the possible means, and we were not able to find one solution, because even the Italian embassy, before they've asked me to find the place. Through Caritas, I found a place. They were safe and so on, but after, the embassy has not answered anymore. Also for the other, no?
And Manuel did a great job as well. He found a solution in Portugal, and at the end it didn't work. We don't know what.
Because now the problem is that if we send them back, is a huge problem, and we don't know how to solve. So we will ask. The only place where they can go in this moment is the Gulf. Is the country of the Gulf can help them. This would be a great thing, because they have the possibility, because both guys are speaking English, so they can find also a work, and easily a work. And we are pushing also on that matter, but till now we didn't succeed. And as I told before, I told to them that at the beginning, when you arrive in the executive committee, you were the worst enemy of me. No, not enemy, but adversaries. How you say? Fighting. No, we were always fighting. But after the last 2 years, we did the best together.
It's only because we have to discuss. We are
Sure,
journalists. We
sure.
have to be clear.
Sure.
That's. I've never been your enemy.
No,
Of
but
course, it's not.
I used the wrong word as usual.
Yeah. As usual, yes. No, but we have to work all together. We have to find all solutions, and I think we need, of course, we need the AIPS to help the journalists to work, to have to work properly and to work freely. And I think that there is no other organization than AIPS to help the sports reporter. And for sure, we have to work all together. And what I say that I came here to the AIPS to see what can we do with AIPS. Friends asked me for that, and I said, but we can do everything with the AIPS because it is a big organization, and I noticed that Gianni built a very strong organization with and the staff is very efficient. And of course, we have to work with, but we have to improve, of course, the AIPS, and it is what we do by coming here and speaking and change our point of views and please try a solution for our two colleagues in Afghanistan, because I
can tell that this morning you took a revolving door, no? Yeah. You are out for one moment, and now you are with us, because there are the award, there is the reporter, there is everything. Yeah. You will not be without work at all. So this, I think that is a very emotional moment also for me.
Thank you.
We have the luck to show, to see Jean-Paul. Anything? Anybody else? No. Who? No, nobody. Okay. At the end of our Congress, not the real end, but it should be end very soon. But traditionally, we must give flag from Italia to Korea. Gianfranco Coppola will give it to Italia, and Hidon Jung will take it for Korea. Please make it officially here. Here in front of. Yes, please. Never. Yes, see you in Seoul in May. May. Yes, it's warmer. Thank you, Gianfranco. Thank you, Hidon. And of course, I would like to thank to our technical staff, which made all this possible with microphones and video.
Sorry, only one moment. Can you stay only 2 minutes?
Also,
Azra, Martin,
I will have it.
can you call all our guys?
Then, please, big applause to our translators. Thank you. Grazie. And the final big thank to our AIPS staff. Very young staff, but very productive staff. Marinella, Asira, Stefano, Cibu, Coni, Stefania, Akusua, Andrea, and Carlo. You will see them here, please. Please.
Come in. Piccolato, eh?
They are, most of them had their first Congress here, but they make it
always late.
Really good. Everything good is for them. Everything bad is for me. So please.
There is one still coming. She's always late.
And
Nadine. Where is Nadine?
Nadine. She will come.
Sorry.
Nadine.
Allora, dai, prendi. We have also to thank the Italian staff. Chosen is coming.
And Italian staff, please.
Other people. Dove sono gli altri? Grazie.
And of course, the final photo.
Vamos.
Oh, where is it?
L'abbiamo portato in porto.
Can you thank you for my staff?
Please, Italian staff, but you must say the names. I don't know the names.
Please, friend and colleague, an applause for my young staff, Italian Sport Journalist Association. Nando is uncle for there. 18 years old. I don't show Guido and Enza, ma okay. Enza Beltrone, Guido Lo Giudice, Matteo Contessa. Foto, Bozzoni, mi prendo la maglia. We are very happy. Thank you, thank you. Sono sopravvissuto a Merlo 3 giorni.
Of course, now, who had some Please, people who have anything to give to the Mr. Merlo, please bring it down there because upstairs is big mess. Jenny, please go there down to take presents from our associations. Thank you very much, you all.